welcome back to Exposed. Continuing on with our topic of video games. It's funny, just before the break, Jessica, you were mentioning how, like, for our generation, we weren't born into heavy video games. Like,
well, I think it
was just the beginning.
Well, I mean, there are people my age who, they had like video games all their life. Like they had their Nintendo 64. Like every console that was like available, they pretty much had, and they had their games, whatever for it. Like, I mean, my boyfriend, he's a gamer, and so when I started dating, I was like, oh, what is this like Final Fantasy stuff? And like he plays his video games, and kind of got me into some of them, but like. You know, there's like some weekends where it's like, yeah, I wanna play Little Big Planet 2. Like, stop playing Dragon Age.
Well, I guess my point was more so like when we were growing up as kids. Oh, I guess for me, I can speak more personally for myself. I much rather go outside and play with my cousins or read or even paint or like do weird arts and craft projects that they'd buy me for Christmas. And I think that like there's been a big shift, like because technology is getting amazing, like with the graphics you were talking about, and so kids are just born into this now, and even like the education, they have educational games for like pre-K to grade 6,
everything like Leapfrog and
for toddlers even, there's basically it's kind of like electronic games, and it has like the little like pen and marker, and you touch the screen.
No, everything
stuff like that. Well, yeah, everything is electronic, and I don't know. I don't think that could possibly be too good. I mean, nowadays
it's different, so you don't know how to really.
Yeah, well, nowadays, all children, they all have their like portable entertainment gaming devices like. And it's really young kids too. It's not just like youth. It's people not even people. It's kids who are like maybe like 4 and 5 and stuff.
They can't even really talk yet.
Yeah, and
they know how to get to level 7 on a game.
Yeah, and they know how to work like their parents' iPhones and get to all the games, and
they know how to go onto YouTube. My cousin was 6 years old. And he could open up the laptop and go onto YouTube and Google like Beatles videos because he was obsessed with the Beatles. And I was like, "You're 6 years old. This is not supposed to be happening." But
yeah, that's what I mean. Even in terms of like just the different types of games that they're selling now, and how it's like so different. I mean, like you have your kids' games and whatever, and then you have still like first person like shooter games. But then you also have stuff like with like the Wii or like the Kinect, the Xbox like Kinect, where it's
like motions.
Yeah, but even I saw a game for the Wii that was drawing. Like it's like family time. Come on, let's draw on our tablet, and you see it on TV. It's like, what is wrong with a piece of like paper and a pencil?
I'd have to agree with that too. I mean, there's kids and they're like playing with their parents' like iPhones, and they're playing checkers. It's like I'm pretty sure they probably have a checker set like somewhere at home. Yeah, they're playing like a virtual checker game, and maybe if they were an only child, yeah, then it'd be understandable, that they have like some virtual friend to play with them. But if it's just the fact that every game, even like
Monopoly,
cards, like every board game is, there's.
I play Words with Friends on my iPhone.
I found it funny when Yahtzee was on the computer. It takes all the fun out of rolling the dice.
Yeah, but that's what another like when we were growing up. That's what when we like first got a computer. It was like, oh, computer games.
Oh, DOS programs.
Yeah. I remember half of the games that we had, they came with cereal. Like we bought cereal and it had games in it. So we're like, oh yeah, and it was like really simple, like one game, and we'd play that a bit, but
no, it's like these like really simple games that you can play on like your PS3 or your Wii, and I don't know.
It's definitely changed the things that kids do in their past. You know what though? It excites me when I see kids playing outside still. I really like that. But at the same time, a lot of kids sometimes when they're outside, they're still playing like their first person shooter games outside. You know, like they have their stick and they're pretending like what they do on their video game, they're doing in real life. So I think it has a really big impact. And I mean,
But that in a way kind of, it goes back to like, you know, just playing games for years back. Kids have probably played Cops and Robbers or Cowboys and Indians for how long? So way before the technology developed. So,
but do you think like video games have had a positive or a negative effect on, you know, kids in general? I mean, it's a hard question to answer. But
I just don't like technology in general, so I would say negative all the way.
Yeah, me too.
I think in terms of technology in general, I mean you see little girls, like they sell little girl cell phone, like play cell phones for them. I mean, and there's like, I must say little girls because they're like babies, and like talking on their like pink phone, and that's what they grow up saying. This is like pretend, like this is fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
But in terms of video games, like, I think it's really depends on like every situation, because there's always those people, like those theorists. I'll say like violence in video games will lead to like violent people, but like I don't really believe that type of stuff, because like, I mean, to a degree I think it affects you, but if you have like proper like parenting and like when you're growing up in school and all the other like your other surroundings to balance it out, you know, like when the Dawson shooting happened, right away they went, like all the media reports were like, you know, checking this guy's like, oh, he had an account on this like goth website, or the type of music he listened to, oh, he played violent games.
and so they automatically just blamed it on that. Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
chance at all it could have been just an
No,
inherent violent
psychological,
disposition in him or
like-
whatever.
Yeah, like I think,
Exactly.
like I don't think violent video games cause, you know, violent acts like that. Like they don't like cause someone to like shoot up a school or their school or whatever. It's just, but I do believe like it affects like a whole generation, like on some level.
More likely it was probably an outlet for him until the video games didn't become enough, and then, you know, took it out on, well, however way he did.
Like I always say with stuff like that, like if someone is gonna do something like that, it's not the video game or it's not the music. There's probably something wrong with the person far before, you know, he decided he liked that type of.
Well, it's like
stuff.
it's like the saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people with guns. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I like technology, whether it's people's cell phones or the internet and computers or video games. It affects youth, and it even affects older generations, and I'm sure it's gonna affect, you know, all the little babies that are born like today, tomorrow. The
I
next few
think
days.
I think it's really hard for me to form an opinion about whether the effects are negative or positive yet, because like our generation is living in the time where there's all the transitions happening. So to live before,
they're gonna be studying us.
so like like the kids that are being born now, that are being born directly into all of this, they'll have a different opinion than what we have.
Yeah, so, I mean, we can, like, well, I don't know about you, but I can see the difference between people who are 10 years younger than us and who are, you know, maybe 12 years old and are talking on a cell phone, and they bring their cell phones to school and stuff like that, which is kind of weird to me, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think I could see it in the younger kids. Like, I'm not sure about like the teens, if I really like, you know, they seem okay, but the younger kids, I can definitely see that they don't know how to make their own entertainment, and they're little kids. They should have like great imaginations, but they don't. They have like TVs in their cars. They have like portable games wherever they go. Everything they do is like virtual, and so it's when they don't have anything, they're really restless, and they don't know how to make their own entertainment, and it's kind of sad.
It'd be interesting to hear from someone like a school teacher or someone who's worked with kids like all the time, and they can see that like that transition over the past 20 years or something. But that's all the time we have for this week's show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, feedback, questions, concerns, you can email us at mohawktv@hotmail.com, or you can give us a call at 450-632-6397. You can also check out our Facebook group. It's called Exposed. And thanks again to Brooke for coming on the show. I hope to see you sometime in the future. So, Yawa and Ona.
Anna.
Ona.
Oh no.